Joyful Talk, Episode 1. A Juggling Lesson. Hello there, welcome to my office in deep space. It is finally complete after long weeks of construction. I can be here presenting to you the first episode of Joyful Talk, which is gonna be about juggling. You've seen me juggle so many times on the stream. I do it to fill time when I'm looking for a game. But mostly, you probably knew it, but mostly I am juggling during the breaks. So in this episode I will teach you how to start juggling yourself, and also why do I juggle so much. First thing you need to know is you gotta forget the idea of clowns in a circus. Because that's the first thought that pops into your head when you think about juggling, you know, clowns in a circus. This is not what I'm doing. 99.9% of my juggling I do to myself when no one is watching. So it's not entertainment for the people. I mean, it's fun to look when I'm doing it on the stream, but honestly, I juggle for myself. Never planned a show business career with it. So why do I juggle for myself? I mean, what's the point? The point is twofold, and I will explain it to you before I teach you how to juggle. First reason why I juggle is because it makes me smarter. It makes me smarter. You probably don't know this, but after Einstein's death, they actually stole his brain and took it to laboratories to study the brain, see what made him so smart, what made him such a genius. And they found surprisingly little, but one of the things they found is Einstein's brain had more connections between the left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain. The hemispheres were in better sync with each other. They were used to work together. I don't know the scientific names anymore because I've read about this study a couple of years ago, but basically you have your left hemisphere and your right hemisphere, both have different functions, and sometimes they have to work together, they have to collaborate. They have to be synchronized with each other. And juggling is one of the things that actually synchronizes your brain hemispheres. It makes you smarter in that way. When your hemispheres get used to working together when you juggle, then they will have an easier time working together when you are doing complex problem solving and learning. Why does juggling synchronize your brain hemispheres? Because one hemisphere uses one hand, your left hemisphere actually moves your right hand, and your right hemisphere moves your left hand. So during juggling, your hands have to work together, and your eyes have to work together, so the brain hemispheres need to be synchronized with each other. That's why my best friend Kate is teaching people to juggle during fast learning seminars. And it's not just some bullshit $10 seminars. People pay her like $200-300 for a seminar, and they go there and they learn how to juggle because it makes them smarter. And I've learned that too, and it made me smarter. And then you're gonna learn too, and it's gonna be really fun. The second reason why I juggle is because it is a perfect activity for the breaks. Before I started live streaming, I was mostly a writer. I always had a creative job, and what follows creative jobs is always creative blocks. I had periods where I just couldn't get anything out. Juggling has helped me out tremendously to unstuck the creative process, to regenerate myself mentally after hours of hard work. It's also a great break when you're doing a lot of complex math, problem solving, learning, studying, memorizing, getting text messaged. Oh man, someone really likes me, I guess. And so during the breaks in my live streaming, I juggle. Almost every break I juggle, because it's a great activity for refreshing the brain. Not only because it synchronizes the brain hemispheres, but also because your brain really likes movement. Since the prehistoric times, brain needs movement to work properly. It's another study that I've read about. In the prehistoric times, people used to walk at least 10 miles a day. Brain really needs movement to actually work properly, so if you can't walk 10 miles a day, I strongly suggest that you juggle during your breaks if you are working mentally or studying as your primary activity. So that's why I juggle. to rest mentally, to recover mental strength, and to make myself smarter. And because it's fun, so now that you've learned why, let's get into the how. Most of the time, people can learn it in about 15 minutes. If you have a lot of ball catching experience from your youth, it could be like 5 to 10 minutes, hour max. And you don't really need professional juggling balls like I have. You can just use 3 oranges, like I do for this video, and it's still fine. Don't you worry. Just go to the nearest shop, get yourself some oranges, and then continue this video, because I'm gonna show you the exercises to learn step by step, and you're gonna be juggling at the end of the video. This is your end result. This is what I want to teach you, this simple inwards cascade. It's the simplest thing in terms of juggling. This is what you are about to learn. Now later you will learn to juggle the outward cascade or do some cool tricks. But that's later. That's later. That's all later. This is later. This is after years of practice. This is today for you. And you can totally do it. So, to begin, excuse me if I bruise your ego, but you actually begin with only 1 ball. This is all you need for the beginning. Just 1 orange. You don't even need a ball, just orange. So what you do with this 1 ball is you teach your body how to throw. You throw it from one hand to the other, one hand to the other, one hand to the other. This is what you do. Once you get comfortable with it, you take 2 balls. But first of all, make sure that both hands throw it high. Because what people do at first is they have their dominating hand, which will throw nice and high, and then they have their lame hand that will throw like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't do that shit. You need to throw high with both hands. That's if you get this done, if you can learn this, which will probably take like 2 minutes, then you take up the second ball. And then you do the same except with 2 balls. Now you throw one and then you throw the other. You throw one and you throw the other. Focus on the throwing part. Don't focus on the catching. Catching is subconscious. You don't think about catching. You catch automatically. What you need to focus on is throwing. You need to throw them both high. Because again, you'll do this silly mistake. Like, throw it right and then because you have one strong hand and then one lame hand. No, you need to throw them both high. Both of them high. Focus on throwing the balls high, both of them. Throw one and then throw the other. It's easy, because you need to throw the other in order to catch the first one, so just get this down. Throw one and throw the other. And then start from the other hand and throw the one, throw the other. Start from the right hand. Start from the left hand. Start from the right hand. Start from the left hand. Easy peasy. And then you can start doing it a little bit faster if you want. Although this could be a little bit more advanced. This is just me showing off, I think. And then once you learn it with 2 balls or 2 oranges or any other kind of citrus fruit, like bananas, you can try with bananas. Then you just do the same thing with 3 balls, no problem. Hang on a second. Let me just lower down the camera. Oh no, my space office. There was a tear in space dimensional reality. If you saw that, never mind. And then you just do the same with 3 balls. It's the same thing. You just throw, 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 throw. Just focus on the throwing. You need to throw the ball in order to catch the ball. So you just focus on the throwing the ball. And as long as you throw it nice and high, you're gonna be fine. You just focus on the throwing. In the beginning, what you should do is just focus on 3 throws. Just 3, and it's fine. And the balls will fall. You will drop them. It's just guaranteed. They will just bounce off each other like this, and then you get confused, and then they will fall. Or maybe you'll just forget to throw and it'll fall or something. It's fine. What you need to remember is to focus on the throwing, not the catching. Catching will come automatically. But if you just need to learn to throw properly. If you have troubles throwing high enough with your non-dominating hand, and you end up doing something like throw one but then not high enough, then you need to focus on throwing itself. Don't even try to catch. All you do is just throw 3 balls correctly. Just do this for 5 to 10 minutes. If you learn to throw, catching will come. So to sum up everything you've learned, you juggle because it makes you smarter, and it's an amazing break between periods of mental work. You start by learning to throw one ball high in both hands. One hand to the other, one hand to the other. If you get one ball down, you just do it with two. If you learn to do it with two, then you do the same thing with three. And this is what comes out of it. Pretty much. I do it sitting for the purposes of the video. You should do it standing up. Also, relax your hips, relax your body. It's gonna be much easier for you if you relax. And remember, the movements are automatic. You don't need to learn too much. You just need to get the right habit going, and it will refine itself automatically. Remember that the balls will be dropping. I have edited out all the periods where my balls have dropped for the purposes of the video, but obviously my balls still drop often. And yours will too, so get used to failing until you succeed. It's the only way, and it's actually quite fun. Another reason why my friend is teaching people how to juggle is because it teaches them how to deal with failure. Because they will fail constantly, inevitably, when they learn how to juggle. And if they learn to deal with failure, when their balls are dropping and they're failing to learn how to juggle, then they will later on deal better with failure in life. So just relax about it and laugh when the balls are dropping. It's fine. Also, I'm kind of a hardcore here, but I would suggest you shouldn't do it in front of your keyboard and monitor. The best way is to juggle when next to your bed, so that the balls will drop on your bed, it will make no noise, and it'll be easier to pick up. That's how I usually practice juggling, is in front of my bed. So that's it, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Joyful Talk. The next one will be uploaded soon, probably is already there on YouTube, so check it out. There's gonna be a link and everything, and I hope you're gonna have a great day. Also, remember to keep watching on Twitch TV/JoyfulRogue, because that's where you will find me.